A new day means new conspiracies. Y'all, we are back at it again, reacting to theories on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube that are going to make us question reality, question everything, rethink life, etc., etc., etc. Let's go ahead and watch some of the gems that you guys dropped in today's video. I dropped this video in the chat.
Indiana mom dies after drinking 4 16-ounce bottles of water in 20 minutes.
How does that happen? How does someone die from drinking too much water?
Right.
So let's break it down very simply as to what happened to this woman. She's on the beach with her family and it's the middle of summer and she's likely pouring sweat. She told her husband that she felt really dehydrated, and like most people, she began to drink water to help feel better. And it wasn't that she drank water, it's that she drank too much water in too short of a time. You see, our kidneys can only excrete a certain amount of fluid at one time. Our bodies naturally have a certain amount of salt or sodium in our bloodstream, and in water, you have 0 salt. So if someone consumes fluid that has no sodium, it gets diluted into the bloodstream and our sodium levels drop. And if that happens, our brain can actually swell. Think of our brain cells like these little Orbeez water beads. If they get too much water in a short period of time, they can actually swell. It's called osmotic demyelination, and it can cause confusion, seizures, and in rare cases, death. That's most likely what happened in this case, so how can we avoid that? If you are feeling dehydrated, it is best to consume water slowly over a period of time, and even better, it's best to consume fluids that are more isotonic. That means fluids that have electrolytes in them, such as Gatorade or Powerade. Most importantly, if you are out in the hot weather, just make sure you consume fluids consistently to prevent dehydration.
Crazy how what you need can also take you out if you have too much of it.
I think one thing too that like I just showed some people in my life that they didn't know about is the click 5 times on your iPhone's power button.
I didn't know that. What does it do? What does it do?
Okay, you guys. So this is like, I'm constantly scared about getting kidnapped. Like I will talk about this throughout the episode, but like getting kidnapped is my biggest fear. So if you have an iPhone, and I'll try to like screen record and just zoom on the screen or whatever, but if you have an iPhone and you click the power button 5 times, it goes into like an emergency response system. So it looks like this.
And she gonna do
and
it?
It says like emergency SOS. And then it immediately, if you let it go and you don't like press cancel like I just did, it automatically calls emergency services and you can set up your emergency people and it'll automatically send them a message that you need help and it'll send them your location where you're at.
Wow.
The more you know. That's helpful.
You think you know somebody, right? But you don't really know them until you meet their family because it makes the person that you're in a relationship with make sense. If that makes sense. Like I've never spent an extended period of time with your parents. Like we go out to eat, we go home. Like I was with them for 6 days, and then I started to get revelation about who you are as a person and why you are the way that you are, because I got to see each of your parents individually, and I got to see them interact together. And I'm like, all that stuff's starting to make sense.
This is getting deeper than what I thought it was going to be this early.
3 principles. Eat the food God called food. Meat, fish, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grain, legumes. That's God's food. Anything outside that is a lab experiment. Eat it as close to its original state as possible. So an example, eat the orange versus drinking the orange juice, right?
Right.
Eat God's whole food. Like eat the whole cauliflower versus the cauliflower rice, okay? Like the broccoli shouldn't be mushy, okay? The cabbage shouldn't be mushy. Collard greens shouldn't be mushy. That's where the nutrients are, right? And then the third principle is do not allow any food to become your God, which means no addictions. So that's where the sugar comes in, the sugar, the salt, the chocolate, the chips, like all this.
You'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud.
That 95% of the U.S. population is brainwashed into believing that working 50 years of their life on a job that they don't really want to do and trading all of that for 5 to 10 years of quote-unquote freedom, but it's not really freedom because you're old and you can't even enjoy it. It is unrealistic. It is, quite frankly, stupid. Follow for more random tips.
Why he know so much at an early age? Thank you, Tough, for the video.
Ishospeed career is not over. Here's why. 2 videos of him show one eye symbolism.
Ooh.
Just watch. This is scripted. We're in the Matrix. You notice how one eye is covered. Now you're probably wondering, what is one eye symbolism or humiliation ritual? Here are TikTok clips of other people explaining the truth.
The Illuminati is in fact connected to the Satanic Church. Illuminati means illuminated ones. It means the enlightened ones. These are people who have spiritual knowledge that you know
Everybody
not
doing
of.
it.
Y'all see the pattern yet? Island boys released incest corn for a humiliation ritual, not for clout.
I was about to say, don't show it.
Boys, have you guys sold your souls?
Yo.
Yeah?
Yo.
And for how much?
For a lot of money, bro. I can't tell you that stuff because I'll get in trouble, so.
Admits he cannot talk about it or else problem.
Alright, well, they sold their souls.
I really don't understand how they blew up. I don't. Like, it don't make no sense to me. But they remind me of 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine. Because it's like, when you can't make a name for yourself, you have to do something to get attention. So what I'm trying to say is that it took Tekashi 6ix9ine to do the rainbow hair and put 6ix9ine tattoos all over his body. I remember the first day I seen him, I said, what is going on? Is this the new generation of rap? Then it took for me to really observe and examine. I said, oh no, what's happening is you're trying to get out there, but it wasn't working fast or quick enough for you. So what you did was you had to change your whole appearance to cause basically attention to go your way because you weren't getting it. So that's what I feel like the Island Boys did, because I feel like maybe what they were doing wasn't working. So they had to change up their whole appearance. All that tattoos on the face and all over the body and weird hairstyles, that's not cute. Because I feel like if you had to do all that to make it in the industry, then the industry is not something that you should be pursuing. Because in other words, if you have to change your appearance or change the way you look or do stuff to get attention just to have your name out there, that is truly the definition of selling your soul, because you're willing to go to the bottom of the bottom just to have your name on the top. And then you get all this, and then what? Like I heard, I don't know which one it is. I know they twins, but they look so much alike. One of them was going through issues with their health and been in the hospital constantly. And then the whole them doing that incest is not cute to me. Because the thing is, like I say all the time, you have little kids watching these boys, island boys, which I don't understand, but you have them watching it, so they think that it's okay now to partake in that. It's just, it's the agenda that's being pushed out through people that they know can cause a very significant impact in the world. But very deep video. Shout out to my girl Amaya for the video.
All right, you guys, we have to do something about this woke community. They're exposing too many of our plans. I mean, if you think about it, we kind of expose everything through movies and music. Yes, because of karmic law, we have to, but they're not really supposed to catch on. Well, we've been doing good keeping them distracted, but every once in a while, some influencer gets popular enough to expose our agenda. So keep deleting them. Say they violated too many guidelines or something. So continue to take away their freedom of speech? Yes, exactly. Okay, but what about our puppets who already have a large platform? What should we do if they deviate from the contract that they signed? I was under the impression that you had most of your puppets under control with MK Ultra. Yeah, but sometimes it glitches and they expose too much. Then replace them with their clone. Yeah, the only problem with that is the clones don't always look like their original copy.
Right.
And people tend to catch on when their favorite celebrity goes missing and reappears slightly different.
Jamie?
It's okay. They'll never believe cloning is real. Look, you guys are doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll continue to keep them distracted and divided with the media.
So much I would love to discuss. It's funny how this video was sent back to me in August and it resonates with today. One, the stuff being put in movies and TV shows, don't expect for us to catch on. Two, you have social media like influencers putting out the real, right? And then you get hit with what I got hit with. Yeah, your channel, what? Y'all gonna take me down for something that I'm doing that everybody else is doing? And then, oh my gosh, it's mind blowing how this video was sent back to me, but it's crazy the agenda and the motive that these things that we have on this world are doing. Like, it's cover-ups. First they gotta tell you, then they'll lie about it, then they expect for y'all not to catch on, then y'all catch on, then they make y'all look crazy and delusional because the world's like, y'all gonna believe this? Come on, it's a TV show. Like, this is crazy. I love this video. Shout out to my girl Amaya. Thank you, promo, for the video.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah.
Brawl.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What is your take on that?
I'm gonna be fair. About 2 hours prior, there was some, I think, Reiki priest, and they were doing a ceremony towards the ancestors 2 hours prior. because they used to sell slaves there.
2
hours prior, they did a whole ceremony referencing the ancestors. And then that happened. Look, man, y'all can call me what you want to call me, conspiracy theories, but I think somebody needs to sit down with the people who was in that brawl, the black folks who was in that brawl, and really have a conversation. I guarantee you, they don't even remember half the stuff they were doing. They looked like they were possessed. It was crazy. It was mayhem. Think about it. It looked like recompense. That's why I said it on when I made a video. It looked like recompense. Think about it. You even had the black cops standing around like, yo. You feel me?
Thank you, Bino, for the video. So this happened this morning, not my car, thankfully. How'd a car get on fire?
Holy sh**.
This is tofu drag construction, China's poorly constructed buildings made with foundations and building materials.
Wait. I'm thinking he's putting holes in the building on purpose. No, you mean to tell me that's a building you're in and you're able to break it just like that and you're that high in the air?
Construction, China's poorly constructed buildings.
China.
Made with foundation and building materials that are poorly mixed due to a lack of funding. That's because the project lead and management swallowed up money due to rampant corruption and graft. It's an ongoing issue in China. The result is dangerous living quarters and infrastructure that are prone to collapse, like bridges, roads, and buildings. In 2008, an 8.0 magnitude earthquake took many buildings under, including hundreds of school buildings, and many were tofu drag projects. It killed thousands of students and tens of thousands of lives were claimed. The CCP covered it up as it was close to the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, and any subsequent investigations by citizen journalists were punished, including jail time. I'm David Zhang, this is China Insider. Subscribe for more on China.
Yeah, I don't know about staying in China until y'all get that stuff situated. If I ever was to go, that's crazy.
If you use Jergens moisturizing lotion, listen up. The product is being recalled because it may contain a harmful bacteria. The FDA is asking that you check the 3-ounce and 10-ounce bottles of Jergens Ultra Healing Moisturizer. It's possible the bottles are contaminated with a bacteria that could cause infections in people with weakened immune systems.
Some time ago, the FDA issued a recall on Jergens Ultra Healing Moisturizer due to a bacterial contamination risk. Class action lawsuits are taking place currently. Bacterial contamination be the main cause of food-borne illnesses, which is when people become ill from eating food. So how did this bacteria get into the lotion?
That's what I'm wondering.
Certain bacterial skin infections can cause flu-like symptoms and even death.
The recall affects products with the letters Z, U. If you have one of these recalled bottles, call the number on your screen.
It's funny because like the lotion is titled Ultra Healing, but it's going to ultra do something to you if you had it, which is why they had to do a recall. But I wanted to say it's funny how it's always the healthy or the better alternative things that be having recalls on their stuff. Because, you know, people, they into like the organic now and grass fed, but it be that stuff where they're having to do the recall on those things. My question is, why? What are y'all doing? Thank you, DeAndre, for the video.
Very controversial new Whole Foods in Washington, D.C. You have to scan to check in. You have to scan to check out. You have to scan to leave the checkout.
All that.
And then you have to scan to leave the store.
It's not worth it. That's doing too much.
Someone please debunk me. You can actually evict the Maui wildfire survivors? Like, tell me you're joking.
Huh?
Do not give up Maui. Do not let them take your land. I just saw this morning, just now on TikTok, they are giving eviction notices to people whose houses didn't burn down.
No way. Like, I wasn't in the conspiracy camp where, like, space lasers caused the Hawaiian wildfires on purpose, but I sure knew BlackRock, Vanguard, and other bankers weren't going to give up a fire sale. So,
BlackRock.
like, before I freak out and, like, start sharpening the guillotines, like, maybe this is just a one-off, right?
This Lahaina is insane. I have a friend who lost his home. He lost everything, but this isn't for him. This is somebody else by him. They didn't lose their home. but they're about to because the mayor is evicting the entire building. Some of the only people that still had homes, and they're evicting them. They have 45 days. Pause to read.
I wish I didn't pause to read. You mean to tell me that if the sus wildfire didn't make me homeless, the government is now going to, even though I had a home to go back to? And like, does the excuse even make sense to anyone? It's like, you have no press release on how you're going to rehabilitate the area, but you will hand me an eviction notice and tell me I have 45 days to get out, but like, I'll get my deposit back. Just don't be late on rent. Like, you haven't even talked to FEMA on how you're going to rehouse everybody that is actually homeless. Like,
they don't care.
We're supposed to believe you now?
These are the last people on this island in this little area that have a home still, and they're kicking them out of it. I hope this is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Let me make sure I understand everything about this godforsaken timeline so I'm not overreacting. You mean to tell me that a sus wildfire wiped out all the homes of all the locals living in an area that's coincidentally the most valuable in all of Maui, and the insurance companies won't cover the majority of the damages, but also coincidentally, all the rich bankers and real estate developers are willing to buy the land for cheap. Like, they won't give you full price because the building's missing, but they'll give you more than what it's worth now.
Yes.
And like, this is all legal. Like, this okay. Like if I just blow all my money on like guillotines and like Kevlar and rounds, like is this like, I don't know, like, hey conservatives, here's your time to shine. Second Amendment, tell us what it's for, man. I don't know. Am I overreacting?
We got to answer a couple reactions back, right? On how the fires happened, and we realized that some buildings were still up. And they were saying how the trees and how certain stuff wasn't affected, but people's homes were and stuff and things around it. But we got the answer, and it was basically to build like this smart city. So basically, if your home is still up, it's like, congratulations, your home didn't get hit from the DWs that we were doing. But the joke is going to go back on you because we still are going to build this smart city, whether your house was intact or not. So you got to go because you're messing up our plan. I truly believe what was happening in that video because, like I said, they're going to do what they said that they were going to do with or without your permission, whether you agree or you disagree. If you in the way, they gonna push you out the way. That's just what it is. But these videos have been real interesting because I haven't been in the loop with the Maui fire. I'm gonna be honest, with Hawaii and the catastrophes that's been happening. And I know this happened a long time ago, but it's still some information coming out. So don't sleep. Collect this because if they did it here, I best believe they gonna do it somewhere else. But now that you have the information and the wisdom of what they doing, this is a time where we start learning stuff. Just be aware, stay ready so that you don't gotta get ready.
Tashima served as the Japanese civilian administrator of Shanxi province in 1939 during his country's war with China. While in Shanxi, he was informed by a Chinese Muslim named Chang, who was employed in his office, that the people of the latter's village were Jews whose ancestors had been forcibly converted to Islam.
So we're going to find out about his ancestors. Go ahead.
Tashima was also told that his subordinates townsmen traced their roots to the Jews of Kafeng. Strong evidence exists, Tashima declares, though he does not say what this evidence is, that the Hada people of Japan were part of the great Jewish immigration into China, placed by Tashima in the Han period, 202 BCE to 220 CE. After arriving in China, Tashima explains the Jews were conscripted as slaves to help build the Great Wall.
Y'all see that? Put the picture up. Put the picture up. So this book's let you know the Jews built the Great Wall of China.
Wow.
Those Jews were slaves. That's our people. The real Jews. The real Jews. That's the Great Wall of China.
And that's a long wall.
Yo, this blew my mind, fam. Gatorade, if you drink it when you're not thirsty, it's sour. But if you drink it when you're thirsty, it's sweet.
Wow, we have to test that.
No, it's real. It's
I'll
real.
believe that.
They put a specific ingredient that it makes you realize when you're hydrated or dehydrated. So when you're dehydrated, it activates the sugars in it and it tastes sweeter. So you know how when you drink Gatorade just regularly, it's sour. Like you don't really want to drink it, right? You know, you get the thing like this, like, oh, it's sour. Like you don't want to drink it.
Yeah.
Fam, go run, come
And
back,
come back.
drink it. It tastes sweet.
That's probably in every like hydrating beverage that needs to get like you energy, right?
I know specifically Gatorade has it.
Okay, so
Specifically
watch.
Gatorade.
I have a theory. So all those people doing Prime reviews,
Yeah,
they're not running before it.
they're not. They're
So
not.
it's gonna taste
It
like
doesn't
shit.
taste
You
good.
feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
So even if it passes the test, no running, then it's a good like beverage. Imagine you do a marathon and you come back, Prime probably tastes like the best shit ever. So you can't like taste Prime unless you rush, because that's really what it's for.
I heard some things about Prime. A lot of people were saying Prime is not the greatest tasting drink, but I really think it could be because of the fact that they may not be dehydrated. Gatorade, how it works is when you drink it when you're not thirsty, it's sour. Okay, and that makes sense because there's been times where I've drunk Gatorade and I'm like, oh, this ain't hitting like it used to. But that means it's probably because I was either dehydrated or I was hydrated. So I guess it just depends on how it goes. But that is very interesting how that's something in a drink that can tell you if you're dehydrated or not. I just thought that that was just mind blowing. How did the world be coming up with stuff like this? Thank you, Phoenix, for the video.
You want to keep more of the money you earn. I'm afraid that's very selfish. We shall want to tax that away. You want to own shares in your firm? We can't have that. The state has to own your firm. You want to choose where to send your children to school? That's very divisive. You'll send your child where we tell you. Socialists don't like ordinary people choosing, for they might not choose socialism.
Thank you, Sincere, for the video.
I don't care how much you plead the blood. People don't even know what pleading the blood means. If this the blood, and this is demon on me, it's demon of witchcraft. Man, pray for me. They be like, I plead the blood, covering the blood. What did you do? Because all you did was put a covering on. You covered me and the fight. So nothing else can come, but nothing left. You don't cover until the end. And covering is when you cover somebody after you done dealt with what was on them. Say this is spirit right here. I got to deal with the spirit first. So the first thing I want to do is rebuke it. Because say the spirit going like this. Man, my head pounding. So I said, I rebuke you. He stopped. Headache's still there, but I stopped him. So the next thing I need to do is loose him because he's still on my head. So I say, loose me and let me go in Jesus' name. Spirit, get up. And it goes into the atmosphere like this. I don't want to be free in my atmosphere. So what I do is I say, I bind you up in Jesus' name. All of a sudden, it binds up. So it's tied up, but it's still in my atmosphere. It's going to eventually get free from the bind. It's spirit. It don't got sleep, so it ain't going to do nothing but all this all day. And God renew our strength daily. So the strength that I used to do this on Tuesday ain't going to hold them on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now you got to cast it out. My pastor always taught me to cast it out of darkness, never to return in Jesus' name. Out of darkness is space. You evict the devil off of earth and tell him to go to the farthest reach. It take him hundreds of years to get back. He do not want to go to outer darkness. Another teaching. Some of us bind everything. My head hurting. I bind this headache. So what you did was you bind the headache to your head. So you say, I loose you first. Get them off of you first before you bind it, because the bind gonna go around you and him. You bind when you're supposed to be loosened, and you loosen when you're supposed to be bind.
When the Roman Empire was collapsing, there was a man named Constantine. And Constantine ended up having this brilliant idea where they would restructure the Roman Empire. He's like, how do we control everything? And they were like, well, if we rewrite history, we can write the future too, because who controls the past controls the future. And then they also realized, well, we can't really have people like reaching higher states of consciousness through spirituality and through these teachings, so let's also take over religion. They then turned into a monotheistic religion. Then they started like persecuting anyone that wasn't a remember? Then they burned the Library of Alexandria. They went around the world and systematically destroyed all the ancient groups that were such as the Gnostics. There was a war over the ancient ways versus the new ways.
There was a war over the ancient ways.
That there are technologies at the South Pole Station that people can't even consider that exist on this planet.
Like what?
Directed energy weapon systems is something that people need to get into their vocabulary fast. The Ice Cube neutrino detector is not simply a passive listening device as presented. It's the world's largest directed energy weapon system.
When Barack became president, he tried to force Africa to accept marriages, and African government said, we don't allow that stuff here. And Barack sanctioned Africa. Well, Biden duplicated the same thing. Biden said the same thing, trying to force Africa, different countries of Africa, to accept marriages, and if those countries don't, he will sanction them, starve them, How in the world men mean so much to America that you will use your power to starve a baby, starve a woman, because a country want to uphold God's law?
Well, he went in, and what really throws me off is why is Barack and Biden worried about a whole nother country? So it just sounds like they just want, oh, I just got my answer. It's the one world religion. It's the new world order. It's like, no, as a world, we all gonna operate and do the same thing. So if we're doing that in America, yeah, we're gonna do that in all the other countries too. Again, whether you like it or not, because our plan has to be implemented. So we're gonna tell you, and of course you're gonna get defensive about it, but we're telling you because we're going to end up doing it anyway. We're letting you have your freedom of speech, but we're still gonna implement what we need to do. Dang. Because I didn't understand. I'm like, I don't understand why they have to get another country. Like, we're not even there. Why are we worried about Africa and what they're doing? It's the New World Order. It's the having all of us in sync, all of us being one. That's some scary stuff. That really is. Because it really tells you, like, this control thing it's scary. It's getting out of hand. That is probably one of the biggest drugs. I know a lot of people be like, oh, this is a drug. No. Control has to be one of the biggest drugs in life. Like, it really does. The biggest mind control game in life. This control stuff is getting out of hand. Really loved and enjoyed today's videos. I know today's videos was like mellow. They was chill, but still, shout out to everyone that sent in videos. Thank you guys so much. Continue to send in these videos, y'all. Add my Discord. The link is in the description down below. Check out the merch. I have nothing but heat on there. Y'all go shop, go support, take pictures, and I'll add them and tag you on my website. That is all for me. I want to give all glory, all esteem, all honors to my Lord Yahuwah, my Adonai Yahushua Mashiach, for blessing me with everything as a whole. I'm just a vessel out there working in and through, so I got to give credit and honor where it is due. On the road to 800K, y'all. Shout out to all you guys. I truly appreciate it. It means a lot to me from the bottom of my heart. But y'all know me. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom, shalom.
You can't bring me down. I know who I belong to. Yeah. What? I won't sell my